Hey everyone, I'm Jake from Jake on Media, and today we'll go through my list of the best Christmas gift ideas for photographers in 2021. Let's get into it. Also, if you guys want to check out any of the items in this video, there will be links down in the description below. Alright guys, so we have 12 items on the list, so let's get started with the first one. And that first item is a camera strap. I recommend getting the Black Rapid Sport Breathe Original Camera Sling. I actually own one of Black Rapid's camera straps, but the one I have is the Black Rapid Double Breathe camera harness. But not everyone needs the Double Breathe harness, so again, just get the original version for $77.95 on Amazon. Alright, moving on to gift number 2, a subscription to Adobe. More specifically, the Adobe Creative Cloud Photography Plan. And they actually offer 2 different storage plans. A 20 gigabyte storage plan for $9.99 a month or $119.88 a year, or a 1 terabyte plan for $19.99 per month or $239.88 per year. And this plan includes Adobe's 2 main photography editing softwares, which are Photoshop and Lightroom, which are probably the 2 best photo editing softwares out there. And that leads me into gift number 3, a drone. And if you're new to drones, I recommend getting the DJI Mavic Mini. The DJI Mavic Mini costs around $389 on Amazon, and I think this is a budget option for drone photography only because drones already cost a lot of money to begin with. Also, DJI is a well-trusted brand, so you know what you're getting yourself into. Anyways, let's go through a few quick features of this drone. The Mavic Mini has a 12 megapixel 1/2.3 inch sensor, an ISO range from 100 up to 3200, a shutter speed from 4 up to 1/8000, video resolution of 2.7K at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second, and also 1920 by 1080 at 24, 25, 30, 48, 50, and 60 frames per second. It can only shoot in JPEG for photos and can only shoot in MP4 for video. And finally, the 35mm equivalent lens on it is a 24mm. Alright, now for item number 4. Portable hard drives. If you're a beginner photographer, I recommend getting at least 2 hard drives. One for editing and one for storage. The one I recommend for editing is the SanDisk Extreme Portable SSD. They offer this one in 3 different storage sizes, those being 250 gigabytes, 500 gigabytes, which is this one that I have here, and 1 terabyte. And the prices for those in that order are $72.99, $79.99, and $139.99. It has a max read speed of 550 megabytes per second and a max write speed of 500 megabytes per second. Now the one I recommend for storage is the Lacy Rugged Mini External Hard Drive. They offer this thing in 4 different storage sizes, those being 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, 4 terabytes, and 5 terabytes. And the prices for those in that order are $69.99, $99.99, $114.99, and $162.08. Oh, and also this thing has a transfer speed of 130 megabytes per second. Okay, now moving on to gift number 5, which is a tripod. I actually have 2 recommendations for this one. The first one being the Manfrotto Pixie Mini Tripod. This thing costs around $28 on Amazon, and it has a max height of 5.31 inches or 13.5 centimeters. And in my opinion, it's perfect for vlogging and traveling. Now for my second recommendation, the K&F Concept 62-inch DSLR tripod. This thing costs around $119.99 on Amazon, and it has a height from 18.1 inches up to 61.8 inches. Now, I don't have either one of these tripods, but I have heard good things about the Manfrotto Pixie Mini tripod. Also, I've seen good reviews about the K&F Concept tripod. However, I do more research before going out and buying either one of these 2. Now, for gift number 6, a camera bag. Again, I have 2 recommendations. The first one being a more pro/semi-pro option, which is this camera bag right here, the Think Tank Backstory 15. Now, I've only had this bag for about 3 or 4 months, but it served me pretty well. It holds a lot of gear and it doesn't cost too much for a semi-pro/professional camera bag. Comes in at around $209.75 on Amazon. So yeah, if you're a pro or semi-pro, I recommend getting this one. But what about a beginner camera bag? Well, I got you covered for that too. Meet the Low Pro Tahoe BP150. This one was my first camera bag and it costs around $79.99 on Amazon. And like I said, it's great for beginners or anyone on a budget. It holds a decent amount of camera gear. You can probably fit a camera and maybe a few lenses in there. or even a flash if you want to. And then you even have some mesh pockets on the side if you want to sling a tripod in there. Alright guys, I'm going to try and make this quick and painless. If you are enjoying this video and you want to see more videos just like this one, make sure you subscribe to Jake M Media. Now let's get back to the video. Moving on, we have gift number 7, an ND filter. For this, I suggest buying at least an 82mm filter and then also buying some step-up rings. And if you're already confused about ND filters and step-up rings and what sizes to buy, I actually made a video explaining step-up rings and a little bit about ND filters, and I'll link that video up above in the card. Anyways, there's 2 recommendations I have for ND filters. The first one is called the K&F Concept ND8 to ND128, and this one costs around $79.95 on Amazon. And this one's a variable ND filter, which means you can adjust the brightness and darkness of it, making it good for videographers. However, there is one that I recommend for photographers, which is the K&F Concept ND1000, and this one costs around $47.99 on Amazon. Also, this one isn't a variable ND filter, so you can't adjust the brightness and darkness of it. Anyways, that leads us into gift number 8, photography gloves. Now, I've never had a good pair of photography gloves. I've always just used some basic winter gloves. But if you do want a good pair of winter gloves that are dedicated for photography, then you're going to want to look for a pair of gloves that have some sort of finger tab that you can like open up the glove on, and then that way it's easier to press the buttons on your camera. And my recommendation for a good pair of gloves would be, and I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but it's the Valorette Markov Pro photography gloves. These cost around $79.95 on Amazon, and like I said, I don't have these, so don't go off of only my recommendation. Go look up some reviews and do some research on these gloves before you buy them. Alright, now for gift number 9, a camera cleaning kit. I actually need a new one of these myself, and I've been looking at the Altura Photo Professional Cleaning Kit. It costs around $29.99 on Amazon, but I think there's a discount on it right now, so it might be a little cheaper. And trust me, if the photographer that you're buying this for doesn't already have a cleaning kit, then they're gonna want one. And that puts us at our 10th gift, which is photography learning books. Now, if your friend is a newbie or a beginner in the world of photography, then I recommend getting them this book. Yes, it might be a little insulting at first just because it says for dummies on the front of it, but I learned a good amount of what I know now from this book. And this thing costs around $20.84 on Amazon. I also have this book / magazine that I actually got last year for Christmas. It's by Time Magazine, and its title is 100 Photographs, the Most Influential Images of All Time, and the Stories Behind the Pictures. You're not going to learn a lot of technical things about photography within this magazine. That's what this book is for. But there are still a lot of powerful images that have been taken throughout time within this thing. Anyways, the price of this thing comes in at $5.55 or $16.93 on Amazon. And now for gift number 11, a reflector. This is another thing that I don't own, but it's still a great gift for a lot of photographers out there. And the reflector I recommend getting is the newer portable 5-in-1 reflector kit. And they have a few different sizing options for this reflector kit. You can get an 80 by 120 centimeters, 100 by 150 centimeters, 120 by 180 centimeters, or 150 by 200 centimeters. And the prices for those in that order are $47.39, $58.09, $61.99, and $73.69. And again, I don't own this product, but I have bought other newer products in the past, and they are a pretty well-known and well-trusted photography gear company. Alright, now for our final gift, gift number 12, a camera. If you're not sure which camera to buy, I do have 3 recommendations, but keep in mind, I am a Canon shooter. The first recommendation is for somebody that's a complete beginner, which is the Canon PowerShot ELPH 360 HS. This camera costs around $239.99 on Amazon, and it's a point-and-shoot camera. It has a 20.2 megapixel 1/2.3 inch CMOS sensor, and it can shoot video at 1920 by 1080 Full HD, but it can only do 30 frames per second. And now my final 2 recommendations, which are for more advanced shooters. the Canon SL3, and the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. The SL3 comes in at $699.99, but that's with the Canon 18 to 55mm kit lens. It has a 24.1 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, and it can shoot video at 4K only at 24 frames per second, but it can also do 1920 by 1080 Full HD at 30 and 60 frames per second. As for the M50 Mark II, that also costs around $699.99, and it comes with the Canon 15 to 45mm kit lens. And just like the SL3, it has a 24.1 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, and it can also shoot video slightly better than the SL3 at 4K only at 24 frames per second, but the advantage comes in the 1920 by 1080, and it can do this at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. Alright, that's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and always remember to capture great moments. Peace.